Mr. Chairman, thank you. I am concerned about a lapse in the royalty collection for the period of leases between 1996 and 2000, and I just wanted to ask a few questions about that. Ms. Kendall, the Department of Interior, you probably become aware of this. There was a set of leases that were issued between 1996 and 2000. They were under a law that was passed by Congress that was intended to try to encourage domestic drilling, but it was when oil was under $25 a barrel. And as I understand it, the law said there would be no royalties until a trigger price of, I think, $26 a barrel was hit. Oil now is, I don't know, $75 or $80 a barrel. At one point it was $140 a barrel. And according to the report that I've seen from the GAO, unless we change this so that we can collect the royalties on what would be due on these leases for the oil that is above the trigger price, the taxpayers could be out about $60 billion. You familiar with that?
Yes, sir, I am.
And are there any specific actions? And this question of the loophole was litigated by Anacardo Petroleum. They argued that the way the law was written, there was not explicit authority to charge the regular royalty rate above the trigger price. Many members of Congress who voted on that legislation had no idea that there was going to be an exemption no matter how high the price went. But the court decision was that the law has to be changed in order for the taxpayers to collect the royalties. That was the intention of that act. Is that your understanding?
Yes, sir.
So is it your understanding that in order for there to be a collection on these royalties, we would have to pass a law to make that permissible?
Congressman, I'm familiar with the case that you're talking about,
right,
and I'm familiar with the act generally. I am not familiar specifically to any degree. I don't know if and this is just my thinking off the top of my head, whether Congress could successfully go back and pass a law that addressed those years specifically retrospectively. I would just guess that there would be a challenge for that as well.
Well, we'd have to get our legal advice and do it right, but I think all I'm asking you to indicate is whether there appears to be any administrative remedy to what appears to be essentially a loophole by which the companies that are drilling on public lands are doing so without paying royalties to the public for that profit-making privilege.
I'm going to have to rely on fairly limited memory, but I don't believe that there are administrative remedies when there was a fundamental flaw in the law as found by the court.
All right, then I think, Mr. Chairman, Congressman Markey and I will be introducing legislation that would be designed to remedy that loophole and provide to the public the royalties that they're due for drilling on the public lands. Ms. Bryan, are you aware of this?
I'm certainly aware of the problem, and I think it'd be terrific if legislation were passed to correct it.
You do?
I do.
All right. Ms. Randolph, I just want to welcome you. I think all of us are heartbroken. I went down to the Gulf, and as heartbreaking as it was for me to fly out over that magnificent, beautiful marshland at the Delta, what was the hardest was coming back and meeting people who were fishermen in the oil industry and just seeing how lives down there have been turned upside down. So I just want to express to you my heartfelt sadness about what the people of the Gulf Coast are enduring and will long after Congress has moved on to other things. So thank you so much for coming and all you do down there.
Thank you, sir. And as a recipient parish of some of those royalty revenues, I look forward to you increasing that.
All right, thank you. Mr. Chairman, I yield back. Thank you very much.